but this is a really interesting solo game because this is actually a solo deduction and hidden movement game. I don't think I've ever seen that done before, and the way that this game actually accomplishes that is pretty ingenious and really, really interesting. But the way this game works is that players are trying to discover the Dark Lady, which is a person that was referenced in a few of Shakespeare's works, but no one really knows who she is. But the Dark Lady is going to be moving around the map from a location to an adjacent location as instructed by a deck of cards. And there's a few different orientations that you can use to set up the deck of cards so that if you do play this game over several different sessions, you're not going to be getting the same sequence of events with her moving to the same cities over again. As you're drawing those cards and seeing where she's moving around on the map, each one of those cards is going to have an icon on it indicating the current location where she currently is. Unfortunately, multiple locations can share icons, so there's multiple possibilities where she could be for a given card, and this is why it's really important to look at the sequence of cards as they're coming out, because you're going to be starting to eliminate different possibilities depending on what's actually possible out on the map. Every time you draw a card, you'll also have the opportunity to move your pawn to a new location, and if you think you are at the same location as the Dark Lady, you can perform the search action, which is where a really cool mechanism comes into play because you're going to be taking the card that you just drew, and then you're going to be combining it with the card associated with the name on that location. The location cards each have a hole in them, and then you're going to be placing that card on top of the card you just drew. And if you see a lady's face there, then that means you are at the correct location. This is going to allow you to gain a clue card, which is essentially one of the Dark Lady cards that wasn't chosen for the game, but each of these cards is going to have a set of icons associated with them, and there's only a certain amount of each icon within the Dark Lady deck. So once you start to get more of these cards, you can start to eliminate the possibilities of the Dark Ladies depending on the combinations that are coming up. The Dark Lady that is chosen for the game is actually going to be face down on the left-hand side of the board with one of her icons revealed on the back of that card, giving you an additional clue of what you're looking for. But the game continues like this until you can determine who the Dark Lady is, and if you get to that point, then you win the game. But if you run out of search cards or if you go through that movement deck too many times, then you're going to be losing the game. But this new expansion is going to be adding a second player, but it's also going to be adding new Dark Ladies with new mechanisms and also new ways to travel across the map. And of course, there's going to be a bunch of new cards and also a varying difficulty. And if you are interested to learn more about this one, I will have it linked in the description down below.